ki khubor ka Batisi TV lawan rashapi da ka Orange Nissan Lumso po near Fire Brigade Shillong.
Tnat Forest and Environment jong Sarkar Jilla haga pratrik ubnai risau arjar arpuai kala Pynkut no ye ke Jingrakhe ba shitayo ban penne pensa ye kimrat kimreng bat ki jingthau ki ba im hapne ka mai mariang nega Wildlife Week ye ka bala penlong ha Lady Hydri Park Shillong ha ka ba menteri jong Sarkar Jilla uba pet ye ka Tnat Forest and Environment jong Sarkar Jilla u James PK Sangma ulalong kumukongsan harengkat ka jingidon lang jong u Additional Chief Secretary ke Jilla uba pet ke Tnat Forest and Environment uba Donald P. Walang lembar Principal Chief Conservator of Forest uba BK Lingwa bat kiwei.
India is a beautiful country, so diversified that it's unthinkable. In fact, we have more than 12 biodiverse, what are the 12 most biodiverse countries in the world right now. And we have more than 18 biosphere reserves, more than 52 tiger reserves in this country, and national parks we have more than 105. So it's a huge country, very diversified, and we are having all these reserve parks, all these places basically to protect the wildlife of the country. You are also aware that India is one of the few countries where we can find all the 5 big cats. Few countries, not every country you can find that. And 80% of the reserve or of the tiger population is here in this country. More than 80% again of the one-horned rhino in this country, and Asiatic lion almost 100% is in India. Therefore, it is our bounden duty to protect and to ensure that there is peaceful coexistence between the human habitat and the wildlife in this country. We are fully aware that the total worth of wildlife smuggling and crimes against wildlife, killing of animals or hunting for skins of leopards or horns of the one-horned rhinos, is worth more than $20 billion in fact. And what we capture is just a small fraction, whether it's in this country or outside. So the solution is not catching criminals. That's just one part of it. One of the reasons why we have a Wildlife Week is not only to create an awareness, which we are doing right now, but also to get all the stakeholders together to have a more planned and coordinated effort to ensure that wildlife is protected. Awareness, yes, but we need to more than create awareness, we need to awaken all the stakeholders who are part and parcel of protecting and ensure that the wildlife is protected.
I'm happy that I've had the pleasure of releasing these at this function today. These videos, these books, they're not just documenting the kind of situation that we are in right now, but they are very important for the present and the future generation in terms of the legacy and the rich biodiversity that we have and the message of conservation. Our biodiversity and wildlife is akin to or rather humanity's health insurance. Or let's say that they are insurance for our planet's health. Our planet's life-giving systems are critical to our survival. Symbiotic existence with nature and wildlife is mission critical to our own prosperity and wellness. I believe that the recent pandemic should be like a collective reckoning and also a crude reminder of how our encroachment into forests and disruption of natural systems has resulted in this backlash. Friends, we know the kind of precarious nature in which all of us are in, our Mother Earth is in right now. The statistics, I must say, they are very, very grim and very alarming. We all know that India is a highly biodiverse country, as was mentioned by our Principal Secretary. In fact, 45,000 species of plants exist in only 2.4% of the world's land area. But today, in India, 3% of our bird species, they are facing extinction. As many as 19% of our amphibians are threatened or are critically endangered. Bee colonies are also collapsing drastically as we speak today across the country. The United Nations published a sweeping report just as recent as last year, cautioning that 1 million of the estimated 8 million plants and animal species on the planet are at a risk of extinction, and that too, within decades because of human activities. Humans have destroyed 2/3 of the wildlife in the last 40 years. These are really, really very alarming figures. But these figures for us should be a wake-up call. And these figures really are a clarion call for all of us to stand up and to speak and to protect those that don't have a voice, our animals, our flora. And this is something that take this up as our passion. Now, Meghalaya is located in the transition zone between the Indian, the Indo-Malayan and the Indo-Chinese biogeographic region. And we are home to various species of flora and fauna, and we are one of the most unique biotic ecosystems in the world. Meghalaya is just 0.68% of the land area of the country, but we account for more than 10% of the recorded faunal species in the country, and we are home to a fascinating array of wild animals. The state has a robust population of the western Hulok gibbon, whose call you could hear in the documentary on the Nokrek Biosphere Reserve, and see how the animals which are in captivity here are in such a small space. It's really cruel to see them pace around in that small cage, and that is why the establishment of a full-fledged zoo, which was languishing for the last several years, we have put that on fast track now. The zoo is likely to be made operational during the next financial year. The state has also received sanction to execute a project for recovery of its state animal, the beautiful clouded leopard. We can see one in the enclosement and animal enclosure in this park. How beautiful the clouded leopard is, and as we all know, it is our state animal. And this project, which is for a duration of 6 years, envisages in situ conservation in 3 known habitats of clouded leopards, namely in Narpu, in Nongkolem and Bampakram landscapes, and conservation breeding in the state zoo. We have sanctions we have got from the government of Meghalaya, from the government of India, which have been accorded to utilize the part of the money available in the state compensatory afforestation fund to strengthen the ecotourism infrastructure in the national parks, in our wildlife sanctuaries, in our zoos, in our parks and gardens, which are managed by the government. These sanctions include operationalization of the existing nature interpretation centers at Balpakram National Park, Lady Hydri Park, Lum Nehru Park, and by provision of requisite exhibits and establishment of a new nature interpretation center at the Narpu Wildlife Sanctuary.